Hello, and welcome to another episode of Level Design Analysis. Today we're looking at Map 2 of Dead Center, The Streets, which is one of my favorite maps, and I think most people's favorite maps in the game. Just a quick note about my upload schedule. So I plan on uploading every Friday around 5 o'clock Pacific time, once a week, so one map per week. And doing this because I want to keep myself paced and not get too burned out on this too quickly because there's a lot of maps in this game. And so by doing one map a week, it helps me to maintain a little bit of balance and not be too overwhelmed by this huge task ahead of me. And I want to give each map, um, their proper time. Like, I don't want to rush through a map. I want to talk about everything I want to talk about. And sometimes I can ramble, but I prefer to do that over missing something. And I know I'm going to miss something anyway, so if you have anything you want me to talk about in a future video that I might have missed, leave a comment down below. But yeah, let's jump into it. So you come out here and you get your first glimpse of Sita. And we had a little bit of a hint of it in the last map in the banquet hall where we saw those beds that were lined up in the room. But now you get to see Sita proper. And it's pretty cool because you get, they play such a huge part in the whole campaign across multiple campaigns of Left 4 Dead. And in Parish, they're the ones who kind of rescue you at the end along with the military. In Parish map 2, you get to go inside one of these things, and now you get to see their tents that they have set up, these little triage tents. Maybe they were keeping people alive in here. You see these little IV things. But yeah, you get our first glimpse of Sita here. In versus mode, there's a cute little jump that you can do here as a hunter where you can vertical wall pounce all the way up to the top of this. So basically there's an invisible wall here called a clip brush, and it doesn't extend all the way to the top skybox as it should, ideally. Valve didn't extend it all the way to the top. So you can actually vertical wall pounce all the way up to the top here, and you can just like stand like up here, and then when the survivors come out of the safe room, you can jump all the way down and hit a 25 damage pounce on them. So it's a cool little trick you can do there. But it doesn't work if the survivors run underneath here. It only works if they run out there. So if they go underneath here, you have to wait a little bit until they come back out here again, and then you can jump down and get your 25. There's a nice little incline going on here. I mentioned this in the past in the Dark Carnival video, but I like just putting in slopes where I can, in ways that make sense, of course. Just to break up flatness and to keep players a bit more interested in the space. Because when you're going uphill, you can't actually see easily what's up top, especially if the hill is much steeper than this. So it builds this minor sense of intrigue where you can see like little glimpses of things, but you can't actually get there yet. You can't actually understand what it is until you get there. Yeah, there's little minor things like that feel really cool. And now you have like the triage tent here. There's this whole area back here which is pretty much pointless. I don't think there's any actual item spawns back here. Correct me if I'm wrong, somebody. You do see people going back here in versus occasionally, where if you're fighting a tank back here, but the tank's counterplay to that is to bring a car back here, this is a pretty dangerous area to be in if there's a car as a survivor, because there's only a bush and these little poles here to juke around. So interesting space. I wonder if they put it here just for versus mode, or if they were just like threw it in and just like whatever, didn't really think about it. You see the sign for the hotel, the Vanna, and I think there's another one over here. Yep, it's a nice little touch I always liked in this map. Thought that was really cool. And versus mode, there's kind of a exploity little trick you can do here. You can technically do this in a lot of different places in the game, but this is probably the most common one. So where you see this little ledge here, there's actually an invisible wall here, again called a clip brush, but that one only blocks survivors. So in fact, you can freely walk through here. But there's kind of a glitch, I guess you can call it, where if a survivor charges a guy who's pulled, the survivor who's pulled gets kind of warped to where the charger is. So the exploit here is a smoker will spawn behind this tree, pull a guy so his body is hanging against this ledge, and then the charger will spawn here and charge forward, and this will actually bring him to the other side of the clip brush. So he cannot get out. So even if you kill the charger, like I can't jump over this. I'm stuck here forever, and there's no way out of here. So the only thing that happens is you die. So it's basically an insta kill. Um, Kind of a exploity insta kill, but once you know that it's there, you can counterplay around it. So it's not the end of the world, honestly. Let's see. We have more CETA signage here. You get previews of what you're doing. Liberty Mall. I believe you see this again in Hard Rain. So they kind of use these electrical signs to tell stories in a way. Versus mode, you have some hittable vehicles here, hittable dumpsters.
Through the door.
This area inside here, very good
Down
for charge
here.
bits. From a level design point of view, we have a nice flow going on. Where we're going from outside to inside to outside to inside, closed to open, choke point to arena. That nice flow that you have, and it also works from an optimization point of view too, because these rooms, they break up large sightlines and they split areas and partition areas into separate spaces. So from an optimization point of view, that's also another benefit. So it all kind of works together, like the level design and versus mode design and optimization. They all kind of work as like a little synergy going on, and it's a nice feature of Left 4 Dead level design that I think the designers did a great job on. There's this dead-end street down here that I thought was interesting. I don't know why, I love these liminal space type spaces that you see on the edges of Left 4 Dead maps where there's like no detail and it kind of looks very mysterious in a way. There's also these billboards scattered across the map. This one you're unlikely to ever see, but you do see some previews of some cool stuff. So you have the Screaming Oak from Whispering Oak Amusement Park. So if you were to glimpse over here, you might get a like, oh, there's a roller coaster in another campaign perhaps.
Mall must be close.
So it's a cool little preview of stuff in other maps. And I think there's another, yes, there is another billboard here. And this billboard, again, I feel like most players probably would not even look at it because, one, it's kind of obscured. Two, it's so high up that it's almost out of your view immediately. So like if you're here, you see it, yeah. But if you're here, no, you don't. So it's a little weirdly placed. But if you were to look up there, you get to see a preview of Whitaker's gun shop. And I think this billboard doesn't even make sense from like a logical point of view either. Because I was thinking about drivers, how would they even see this billboard? Like,
Jesus, this place is a
I think
ghost
this is like an exit ramp. Yeah, so there's like an exit ramp here. Okay, so if you're driving here, you would not be able to see that. You'd not be looking up there. Maybe a guy over here could see it, but you have to like turn your head to the right. What about over here? Even here is kind of weird. So this whole billboard doesn't work from any point of view, honestly. From level design or even from a realism point of view. But again, I think I mentioned this in the Dark Carnival video, but there's a lot of that stuff in these maps. If you think too hard about it, it starts to feel a little weird. So, but for most players, no one's gonna give a fuck. So it's just a little thing that people who spend too much time playing Left 4 Dead noticed, like me. Let's see. A nice little looting area over here if you were to go off the beaten path. I always love that. I love rewarding players who move away from the golden path. I mentioned this in Dark Carnival map 5, but there's a little trick you can do where you can, if there's a special infected ladder, which there is right here, a smoker can pull someone against it, and then another special can climb the ladder, and it lifts the guy up, all the way up into the air. And then when the smoker gets killed, he drops to the ground and either dies or gets capped. And you can do that right here. You don't see it happen very often, but it is a possibility. Here we have our first ladder choke of the game. This one's not that intense, because it's a short choke and you're kind of like not that much in danger, but Tetrals can drop above you and land here and do some crazy charge pit combos and get some really cool separation going on here. And if you fall off, you cannot get back on unless you go back over here and then make this jump. So it's kind of cool. It's like a half one-way drop, or it is a one-way drop, but you can get back with a long way back, which I like. I think that's pretty cool. And there is a little trick jump you could do here where if you jump on this, I don't know if I can do it right now on the fly, but let's find out. Okay, there you go. So if you run on that and then jump over, you can actually skip the ladder, which I think is kind of lame actually. If I were editing this map, I'd probably remove this just because I think this is more fun from every point of view. And that feels kind of exploity. I don't know. But yeah, fun ladder choke for versus, and I get some one-way separation going on. And TLS, the last stand update. By the way, I'm sorry about my ums. I'm working on that as well. I notice I do it after I say it, where it's like too late. But yeah, anyway, I'll try to reduce my ums. But in the TLS update, last stand, the last stand team actually opened up this rooftop, and they were able to do that because there are basically two ways that Valve blocks rooftops. There's the clip brushes, player clip and regular clip. There's also other kind of clips, but those are not really used. And then there are these entity clips. You don't have to worry about how it works behind the scenes, but basically clips and player clips cannot be removed from the game no matter what. But these entity clips can be. And so the TLS team is actually able to remove those clips and open up these rooftops for survivors, or for infected rather. And there's a few places that they did this in the game. I think the Dark Carnival Motel, I mentioned that in the first video I made as another example of that. And a few other places they did that too. So it's always cool to see new stuff opened up and new possibilities after, you know, so many years. So great job to the TLS team for doing that. And I think they also put like sort of a wall here too. Like it goes up like this. Just to have a way for infected to spawn in without being seen. So I always like that change. I always love when you can open up rooftops because, you know, the reason these rooftops are even closed off to begin with, for the most part, is that Valve didn't want you to see this stuff. If you see, you can see how stuff is like popping in and out. So in between these two like spaces, like this space and this space, you know, the optimization does this thing and it blocks off visibility from one area to the other, and that's what keeps our frame rate high, especially for consoles like the Xbox 360. But you know, modern day stuff, we don't really need that, so we can just open it up, and if you see this weird shit, who cares? You know, it's unfortunately something we're stuck with, but not really needed in 2025. This charge bit staircase, classic moment to spawn as a charger, get a huge amount of damage here with the charge bit combo. I noticed while I was making this level that there's actually a hidden item spawn. It didn't spawn in this run, but back here there's actually a little item that can potentially spawn here. And so I guess that indicates that at some point in development this room used to be bigger, and you can see that there's actually a lot of unused space all around here. So at some point this room was a little bit bigger. And this is a very interesting room from a level design point of view. It's nice to have these respite rooms. They're almost like half safe rooms in a way, where you have, you know, a chance to recollect your ammo, heal up a little bit, get new weapons, find Molotovs, new melee weapons, that kind of thing. Just kind of like gives you a moment to look forward to in the level, because we just went through a ladder choke, we just went through this charge pit staircase, and we want a break, man, because we're getting worn out. So we need to get some items and stuff. So from a pacing point of view, this stuff is great. And I mean, even from campaign mode, this stuff is good to have too, not just for versus. So I love these little rooms here.
Jump onto the truck.
Although they can sometimes feel a little frustrating for versus. You know, you do so much damage and then now they're healed up again. You're like, oh, all that was for nothing. So you gotta have a balance of it and don't go too overboard with it. It's kind of a bait and switch because you got all that stuff and now you can be insta-killed again. This one's even worse than the first one because the other ladder choke you could get back up on, or the other one we drop you can get back up. This one you cannot. So if someone were to get pulled back here and they got incapped, well, they're dead. You can't save them. There's no way. It looks like you can kind of jump, but you actually cannot, as far as I know. Versus mode, you can actually get on this rooftop as a hunter. You cannot see the rooftop, but you can actually get up here and get another huge damage pounce in this map. And again, that's why this map is kind of a fan favorite. Anywhere where people can get huge damage bounces, people love that shit. And unfortunately, a lot of Left 4 Dead 2 maps are very flat, but this one's kind of an exception to that. So, a really fun map in versus mode. Speaking of liminal spaces, this is one of my favorite liminal spaces of Back 4 Blood in the game, or Back 4 Blood, Left 4 Dead in the game. This area back here just looks so surreal and eerie, and I always loved it. And there's just like this one like random car here, just sitting there, and it looks so creepy looking. You can barely even see it too from back here. You like see a little glimpse of it. I just felt like pointing that out. We have another billboard up here. This one I think is probably the most visible out of all of them. And, you know, we're getting our real preview. We had the Jimmy Gibbs one earlier, but you couldn't really see it. This is our first real preview of Jimmy Gibbs. And, you know, you mentioned this in the Dark Chronicle videos, but building that anticipation up feels really cool from a level design point of view. So if you're seeing this for the first time, and you see, you know, right below it, you see another sign, Liberty Mall, next exit. You can probably guess that we're going to a mall, and something's going to happen with Jamie Gibbs Jr. Maybe we're going to get in his car, maybe his car is going to bust down a path for us. But it's just that feeling of getting you questioning and thinking about stuff. Because, you know, a game like this can be kind of a mindless zombie game at times, so anything that gets players thinking is always really cool. From a pacing point of view, this area is actually very well done because, again, you have the up and down action going on. Flat stuff here, going up, going down. Going up again, going down. Going up again, and so on and so forth. So it just keeps people stimulated and always has that verticality change, which is really nice to have when you can do that. There's a little trick you can do here in I think both modes, co-op and PvP versus. You can push this cone all the way over here, which allows you to jump up to here and skip going up the staircase, because that area can be a little dangerous sometimes. Moving forward. Nice little looting area in this closet here.
Let's try upstairs.
Another versus mode trick you can do here. You can jump on this fence, then jump on this fence, then jump to that rooftop. Because I don't think there's a special infected ladder that actually takes you up there, unless the TLS update added it. So here's like an alternate way of getting up there. And I love that those little parkour things. I think is one of the things that makes Versus so good. Because you have to, you know, you learn the map for the first time as a survivor, and then you learn it like a second time as an infected, and there's all these little things that you never would have even thought about, and little tricks you can do. And speaking of things that you're always learning about, I just learned about this for the first time. There's like a hole in the geo here. I think it's a no-draw brush. I just noticed that right now actually for the first time. From a level design point of view, there's a nice little trick that they have going on here where they have the left side covered up and the right side open. And now this accomplishes two things. One, it gets your attention looking to the right, so you're getting a preview at the area you get to go into. You see this happen a lot in Half-Life 2 maps. You get the preview and then you go there. And it's just a nice little, like, I don't know if there's like a special term for it, but I just like that, doing that in maps where you get to see something and then finally get to go to it. But another purpose of doing this, in addition to focusing your view to the right and focusing on Whitaker's gun shop sign down there at the end, by covering up this side, they don't have to put any detail into it because you can't see back here. If they had that opened up, they would have had to make this area look nice in order to make it not look bad. But since you can't see back there, who cares? Just you know, put in like the bare minimum of detail, because you can see right here, and they could have easily blocked this part too, but you can see here, and that's all you need. You just need a bus, a tree, that's it. So we're at Whitaker's gun shop, everyone's favorite area as a survivor, because you get to pick any weapon you want in the entire game, and you get laser sights for it, and you get 4 med kits. I don't understand why they went so crazy with this, but I love it. I love having a few crazy moments in levels. Yeah, and I
I'm
think
not
even in the
legally allowed
TLS
to own a
update, they
gun.
added
Hope everybody's okay with that.
the Counter-Strike weapons in this back room here. Oh, they did, yes. So now you have the Counter-Strike weapons. So literally every weapon in the game is here if you want to get it. And I love moments where you can make the player feel powerful in a game. Like, this game can beat your ass a lot, and you can oftentimes feel kind of weak. But so occasionally you have to throw players a bone every now and then and let them win. You know, let them have a victory here and there. They still gotta beat the whole level, but they feel like now they've got all the tools to do it. Um, and unfortunately, in versus mode, this area is a little unbalanced because AK-47 with laser sights is insanely broken, and then you have 4 med kits on top of that, so basically undoes a lot of damage that was kind of done. Unfortunate, but for co-op mode, this area is awesome. I think this is probably the first time you've even seen some of these weapons too. Like, you don't actually see them prior to this. I'm trying to think in my head. I don't think there's any. There's like maybe one tier 2 spawn. So you more than likely have never seen these items. So very cool moment here. There's a lot of fun storytelling going on with some of the signs. This store operates on 100% zero tolerance. Writers of bad checks will be shot. Full auto shotguns. I don't know why. I just thought this was kind of funny. Whitaker seems like that kind of the kind of crazy gun guy type of thing. I love this one. Open 364 days a year. I wonder if the last day is either Christmas or it's July 4th. I don't know which it is. It could be either. But yeah, let's move forward in the map.
I'll be blunt. I need the code, and I won't let you through the barricade until I get it.
Thank you,
Now
Whitaker.
go.
I don't know what you would call this event. It's kind of a gauntlet, but it's like an
You better
objective
not be
gauntlet.
screwing with us.
On my word as a gentleman, I won't
Maybe
do
like a
no screwing
one
with
can
that.
scavenge
I
event
come
type
down
of
there,
thing.
shake on it, but I
So you're
already
basically getting the
broken
cola
door
and bringing it to Whitaker. And you're getting hoarded the whole time. But I love this event because it makes players play a lot differently than you would in other maps. Like, you know, other maps you're holding out and just kind of sitting
I'll be able
there.
to get you to the mall if I want
Or you're doing a gauntlet, which is fun, but this was like a
Get
gauntlet
ready. This is
plus
gonna
another
set off
thing.
the alarm.
So I thought this event was pretty cool, especially in versus mode because boomers can blow up the cola and launch it far away and make players have to reset. By the way, can we talk about the prices of eggs? This is definitely a 2009 game. It's nowhere near 99 cents now. Because we have bird food now. The eggs are like fucking $8 now. Now here it's $1. I wish I lived in 2009. Save for less. Funny little touch. Obviously referencing Left 4 Dead. There's one thing I want to point out back here. There's actually like this secret. I call it the secret desk. So there's this like random ass desk back here. Like, what is this thing? It's just here, and I think it was. So it looks very similar to this one. So I think a Valve developer were just like copy pasting desks around. Is there another one? It's just that one. But yeah, he was like copying desks, and I think he forgot to delete this one. So now there's just like a desk back here. And it's a fun little Easter egg. It has collision too. You can walk on it. But yeah, that's the mysterious yellow desk. Let's see. I guess we'll just open up the thing now. Oh, one more thing. You've probably seen versus players do this, but you can shove the shopping cart all the way over here and then create like a little jump that you can just get up here. I actually don't really like that. I feel like the map is more interesting when you have to go all the way around. Like I get, you know, there's skill in knowing map knowledge like that. You know, you gotta learn how to do this, but I don't think it's that interesting personally. I think you do something like this and then you jump up. Have to move it a little bit closer, but yeah. It's a little trick that you can do to avoid running all the way back. Let's see. I'm actually not going to open it because I don't want to listen to the alarm. I just want to walk around. I'll open it later to precede the event, but for now let's just talk about this area. They have the cola all the way back here, illuminated by the light, which I think is cool. I don't think it's spawned in yet, but I like that they make you go all the way back here. It feels really dangerous the further you get in. You're like way deep in the thick of it. There's a nice little area you can stop at too to get some more supplies. I kind of like the splashing outline too. A lot of maps don't have that. It just have a singular highlight that doesn't flash. But I like the flashing because it draws your eye towards it a bit more. Okay, so let's just grab our cola. Then they illuminated the cola right away. It's kind of small, hard to see. But here we go.
I got his cola. Let's go.
I'm just gonna teleport back.
Thank you, generous strangers.
You get to see
Let me get rid of that barricade.
what Whitaker actually looks like here.
Barrier
You've probably
down.
seen this in
Let's
every
get outta here.
Left 4 Dead Easter egg type of video that YouTubers make, but yeah, you get an actual glimpse of Whitaker, and I don't know how you'd ever actually see that in like a really practical play. Like, you'd have to be standing here and know to look up there, but it's a nice little touch, and I love that they did that. And it looks like a fallen survivor, which you see in the passing. I do find it a little strange, again, thinking too hard about it. The fact that he blows this thing up, and he like basically is compromising his own safety by doing this, all for cola. Because like this street was safe before; it was blocked off, it was quarantined. Like there couldn't be no zombies gonna get him from over there. Now he's blown it up, and now he's like fucked himself because there's a huge opening here now. So yeah, I thought that was kind of funny. Let's see. So for these explosions, they usually do a pre-animated physics animation. So this is not real-time physics objects, all pre-calculated, which saves on processing power, which is very smart. Anything else to talk about in this area? I don't think so. Yeah, moving on. More liminal spacey type shit over here along this boundary. Always love it. Gotta point that out. What is that? What the heck? There's a piece back here? There's two pieces. Wait, I never actually noticed this until now. Well, you learn something new every day. Oh, there's a piece way back here too. Whoa. Okay, that's kind of cool, I guess. Wait, is that another one? What? That piece went way back here? Okay, I'm learning stuff. Every time I play a Left 4 Dead level, I learn something new. Today I learned that there's pieces that go all the way back here. Speaking of physics animations. From a pacing point of view, we had our crazy difficult event, and now we have this nice open area to give us some respite. And this area sucks in versus because there's not many places to spawn, but in campaign it feels great to have that relief. And you finally get to the mall that you've been getting hyped up about all map. Liberty Mall, as it's called, and you get to see more of CETA. So you get to probably imply that CETA is setting up in the mall and using it as a staging ground of some kind, and you see the generator here. And of course, you see this guy, we call it a landmark, the big old Liberty Mall sign. Anything that's very large and stands out amongst the environment and has a unique silhouette, we call a landmark, because it guides you forward in the level. Because there's a chance that when players are playing this, especially when they're putting the cola in and fighting zombies all around them, they might not see where to go. They might not even see that explosion. It'll be loud and they'll hear a boom, but I'm definitely sure that some players will miss it. But if you walk over here, look at this shit. Look how much that stands out. You're gonna see that for sure, and you're like, what the heck is that? And I'll walk towards it. Ah, it's this Liberty Mall sign. And then by the time you get here, now you have this revealed. So it's like a stepwise reveal where like one thing gets revealed, then the next thing, then the next thing. And it's not a coincidence that they also made these this truck bright orange, as well as the back of it bright orange. Very contrasty. There's nothing else orange around. Orange typically means the way forward, or yellow sometimes as well. Yeah, nice little level design touches from Valve. But yeah, that concludes map 2, the streets. Thanks for tuning in. I'll be back next week going over the mall. And as usual, if there's anything that you want me to talk about, anything I might have missed, leave me a comment down below. And also leave me a comment and tell me what map you want to see next, what campaign. You know, I could go in order. I could do Swamp Fever next, but if you guys want to see the Passing next, I don't know who would want to see that, but I'm sure there's a Passing fan out there somewhere, and that bro is going to be commenting down below. But if you want to see that, leave a comment down below. But until then, see you next time. Bye.